Hi, this is Amber Swift with Swift Thinking. Today I want to tell you about a new technique that I figured out how to do in MDS. So, if you've ever heard of kissing with rubber stamps, not with people, it's where you ink up one stamp that is a bolder image, and then you kiss another stamp which has a more detailed image and you've inked up in a darker color onto the first stamp. So you press the two rubbers together. And this is going to transfer some of the ink from the detailed to the bold image, and it'll give you a two-tone stamp. Now, a picture is always worth 1,000 words, so let's go see what we're talking about. I found a really good one online. This lady inked up her stamp in pink and then inked up a dotted background stamp in brown. And then what she did is she kissed the two rubbers together. Then when she pressed it to the paper, it gave you this two-tone impression that the stamp left. So now I'm going to talk to you about how you can create this impression with MDS. The key is that it requires the stamp that you pick, the bolder stamp that you pick, to be an SVG file. Now, in my last video I talked about SVG files and how to take it from a stamp set to a punch, and this is going to be important with this one, so let's just review. For this card, my stamp brush set that's the bold one is this birds, the doves here in the middle of the picture. So in order to get that into my punches folder, I went out to where my stamps are stored. So my Digital Studio components, stamps, designer kits. It's in the meant to be kit. And it's this dove. And you can see it's done a .svg file. So we can make a stamp or make a punch out of the stamp brush set. So all I did was copy this into a components punches users folder, and so there it is again. So now I have this image as both a stamp and a punch. So then in MDS I can go, we'll do a page that hasn't been done yet. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is taking this blue bold image, and that would be your regular image in stamping, and then I'm going to add this detailed image onto it as if I was kissing it. So how do I do that? Well, I have this one selected, and I'm going to go over here and say crop. So you can see it's this nice big picture, and you could crop in doing square type crops, but instead what I want to do is I want to go down here and say crop shape. Now when you crop shape, you can pick any of the punches that you have to crop to. So I of course go into my users folder, this meant to be kissing doves that I just put in there, and I say apply. And see how it cuts out the stamp in that shape? So when I go ahead and I say OK, now that stamp has been cut out in the shape of those doves. Now it's not necessarily going to be the same size because it's going to make the punch as big as the stamp was, so it makes it as big as possible. So I need to just adjust it a little bit to get the size I want. Move it into place. I can see that it's still a little too big, so scale it down a little more. And you just play with it a little bit until you get it the size you want, so that both your background stamp and your kissed stamp are the same size. So if you look like that, it's pretty good, all lined up. It now looks like I kissed a white stamp onto these blue doves and then stamped it onto my page. So that is your digital kissing technique, and there are so many ways that you can use this. I'm excited to see how you guys use it and samples that I'll start to see out there on the web. I hope you enjoyed this new technique. This was Amber Swift with Swift Thinking. Flutter by again soon.